The Meuse flows for almost 1,000 kilometers through France, Belgium and the Netherlands before it joins the Rhine near Rotterdam and discharges into the sea. Its course passes by landscapes, castles and towns. At Venlo, close to the German-Dutch border, the river flows by an extraordinary village, which is in fact a monastery. It is home to a family order, which in actual fact can be found everywhere in the world. But it all began here in Steyl. Europe in the second half of the 19th century. A new spirit of optimism is prevalent. Across the globe, the major powers are establishing colonies. Germany is also determined to secure its influence and the growing demand for raw materials. Arnold Janssen, a young priest, is driven by another concept. He does not see the world as a huge raw materials warehouse. He doesn't want to import anything. He wants to give the world something, the message of God's love. Janssen wants to spread the gospel to all four corners of the earth. But he cannot begin his undertaking in Germany. Bismarck's government is at war with the clergy and is determined to repress the church's influence. A house of training for missionaries would be unthinkable here. Janssen decides to cross the border. In Steyl in the Netherlands, he acquires an old village inn, and in 1857 he founds the St. Michael Mission House, the nucleus of his missionary work. He is soon joined by contemporaries. Anser and Freina de Metz are amongst the first to carry the message into the world. In China, they erect the initial mission of the Divine Word missionaries. Janssen searches for allies. Within a year of the foundation, he established a printing plant. With his City of God, which soon had 1 million readers, he founded more than Germany's first family magazine. With his publications, in addition to other projects, he manages to spread his mission concepts to the population. It is a mysterious world that has been brought together in the tightest of quarters. We are in the Mission Museum of Steyl. What you can see here allows an insight into the alien world the missionaries of Steyl journeyed. In order to make these distant lands accessible for those that stayed at home, they sent many objects back. This enabled encounters with foreign cultures long before the advent of television. Noteworthy also is what Janssen wrote in his missionaries' registers. They were to study foreign cultures, learn from them, and build on these experiences, but never destroy them. Here, the blind can see again, an eye-operating theatre in the highlands of Papua New Guinea. The clinic is managed by sisters. These mission nuns also belong to the Steyl order family. Janssen, the founder, quickly recognized that his mission organization required the specific abilities of a woman. Just like the missionaries, they went out into the world as nurses, as midwives, as teachers. Neither hardship nor danger could prevent them from finding their way to the people. An inoculation campaign in the Sepik region of Papua New Guinea. Thousands of children would not be alive today if the sisters didn't regularly return here with the protective vaccine. Without Sister Dorota, 10,000 women and men living in these marshlands would have absolutely no medical care. Whether in the bush of Papua New Guinea, the mountain regions of the Philippines, or in one of the 70 other countries of the world in which the Steyl missionaries are active, it is all about caring for the next man or woman as if he or she was your own brother or sister. This is how the Steyl family understands the word mission. Back in Steyl, the mother house of the missionary sisters is located at the other end of the monastery. From here, they keep in touch with all of their fellow sisters in the world. In the entrance hall, there is a tree that shows in ever-changing ramifications how the female branch of the order assumes new challenges. In a small museum, a Polish sister tells a group of visitors about the beginnings. She tells them of adventures that the young women took upon themselves, driven by their endeavors to implement the gospel. In another room of the Mother House, an international group of sisters is holding a meeting. Women from all over the world. The sisters regularly return to their center to exchange their experiences, to ask anew which challenges they have to meet. AIDS, increasing poverty, child soldiers, sex tourism. There are always new areas that call for dedicated engagement. The chapel of the Church of the Mother House. A shrine stands here, the final burying place of the fellow founders of the missionary sisters, Hendrina Steenmans and Helena Stollenberg. The church venerates the two sisters as blessed because they committed their lives to God's work. Janssen himself was laid to rest in Steyl too. The grave of the founder in the lower church of St. Michael's is the core of Steyl. Thousands of pilgrims, including missionaries, both male and female, make for Steyl on a pilgrimage every year. But there are many others who feel a bond with this great man even before his canonization in 2003. Janssen was not only a restless spirit, a man of action, an organizer. He was also a man of prayers. Prayers were to accompany his life's work, a matter so important to him that he founded a third religious order dedicated to this. And because he was convinced that it is the Spirit of God that captures people and makes the gospel accessible, he called the third religious order Servants of the Holy Spirit of Perpetual Adoration. For around 100 years, their friary has been on the Meuse. Whoever enters here is not about to enter into the world. The women that live here have initially closed the door to the world behind them. The current 25 women here come together for prayers 5 times a day. As much as they are part of the Steyl family, their lives differ fundamentally from the missionaries. Their contribution to the mission's work is prayer. Without prayer, and of this Arnold Janssen was convinced, all missionary endeavors are purposeless. And thus, the prayers of the Pink Sisters, correspondent to their clothing, support the missionary work. Much has changed since the foundation. Back then, missionaries went out into the world, but today, missionaries from Asia, Oceania, Africa and South America come here. Their rows have become more colorful, an internationality which is also reflected in the services. The global bond between all Christians, yes, between all people, is tangible here in the Steyl family order. No one shall be excluded because of their origins or culture, and so the ferry in front of the minster has long since become a symbol of the monastery. It has surmounted the insurmountable, has become a bridge. And Arnold Janssen wanted nothing more when he founded his mission. All people should become brothers and sisters in the spirit of Jesus Christ, a vision that began in Steyl and went out into the world.